Alright, Solo Staker fam, another day, another speed run, and today we are going to be using ETH Docker to spin up an Ethereum Validator node, once again for free on a virtual machine using cloud credits. And in doing so, we will be participating in the Lido CSM testnet so that we can enjoy benefits on the mainnet when it goes live later this year. So, similar to my previous video, the first thing you gotta do is to sign up for a new Google Cloud account. So just open up a browser and search for Google Cloud credits. And you will see that you are able to try with $300 of free credits. So you will have to enter your credit card details, but you just have to cancel your virtual machine and all services before your credit runs out to avoid your card getting charged. So in my case, I have already set up my Google Cloud account, so I can directly go to my console, click into it, and in the top right corner you will see the console. Click into it and you will select create a VM here. Alright, so now we will have to input the parameters of our virtual machine. Starting from the name, we can call it whatever we want. Once again, I'll call it CSM testnet ETH Docker. So all of the name characters needs to be in small case, in lowercase, and without any spaces. You can use the dash in place of the spaces. Machine configuration, keep it to E2, the cheapest type, if I'm not wrong. And for the machine type, we will need at least 8 GB of memory. So the smallest machine we can select is this E2-standard-2 machine with 2 virtual CPUs and 8 gigabytes of memory. Alright, the next thing you gotta change is the boot disk. So we click on this change button. Change the operating system to Ubuntu, not Ubuntu. Choose the latest version, 24.04 x86 version, or you can look for AMD 64 instead of ARM 64, so take note of this. Keep the boot disk type to balanced persistent disk, and the size of the disk set it to 350 GB. Once you're done, hit select. And you will see that the monthly estimation to run this virtual machine is around $84. So with free credits of $300, you will be able to accrue 3.5 months, more or less, of practice time. Under Identity and API Access, select No Service Account. Be sure to select No Service Account. Otherwise, I don't think you'll be able to spin up this machine on a free credits. Under Firewall, check the first 2 boxes, and then you can go ahead and create the virtual machine. Alright, so while it's being spun up, what you have to do is open a new browser tab and just search for Lido Finance / ETH-Docker. Yeah, just click into the GitHub link and then just go back to the parent folder of Lido Finance. Yeah, just make sure you're here. You know what? The next step should be searching for Lido Finance GitHub. That'll be quicker. Click into the GitHub account, right? Scroll all the way down under the repositories section. Search for ETH-Docker. And click into this ETH Docker repository. So here we are using the Lido's fork of ETH Docker to spin up our CSM validator because a lot of the steps are more streamlined in this fork rather than the normal ETH Docker repository. So scroll all the way down to the installation instructions under getting started. So first we have to copy this first line of command, which will do everything for us in terms of downloading ETH Docker. And now head back to your Google Cloud Console. Then you will see that your CSM testnet-ETH Docker virtual machine is ready. And the way to access this virtual machine is to click on the SSH button all the way to the right. Right, let's wait for it to load. Alright, so what you have to do once you're in is to paste the command that you copied from the ETH Docker repository into the terminal and hit enter. Right, so now it's downloaded. The next command you have to run is this /ethd install. And let it do its thing. When prompted, just select yes and enter. And we'll just wait for it to install everything in the background, all the dependencies, all the requirements, so that we don't have to do this manually ourselves. Alright, do you want to be able to call ethd command from anywhere? Type yes and enter. Alright, so now we have to exit our virtual machine. So let's go ahead and type exit and enter. Alright, and then go back to our console and re-log in using the SSH. So this restart of your VM is required in order to register your host user into the Docker user group. So it's just a heuristic, take it as a heuristic for now. Where will we? Yes, and then once you've installed dependencies, then you'll have to configure the ETH Docker service. So instead of this /ethd config, you can now run the ethd config without the / prefix. Run it. You'll be guided into a terminal UI once again, and so you'll select Holesky testnet, the first one. Select the third option next for a Lido compatible node, either community staking or simple DBT, and today we'll be covering community staking. Select the first option for community staking, and then now you're free to select whichever client combinations you like. But because of our machine restrictions, we need to be very lightweight, and for that I highly recommend going with Nimbus. And for the execution client, let's use Reth. Why not? This is the newest execution client, and since we're on testnet, let's give it a go. Alright, so what is the URL for your consensus layer checkpoint sync provider? This is already pre-filled for you, so you can use the tab key, TAB, to navigate to the OK button and hit enter. Do you want to use MEV boost? Yes, this is required as a CSM operator. You'll be required to choose relays, make sure all 4 are selected, and then use tab button once again to navigate to the OK button, hit enter. Do you want to use Grafana dashboards? Grafana is a tool for monitoring the performance of your validator node and the various software and clients running within your validator node. So select yes. Graffiti, you can enter anything you want, let's call it CSM-validator 001. Use the tab button once again to navigate to OK. Do you want to generate validator keys? Yes. Enter the number of validators to generate. We'll select 1. Use the tab key to navigate to OK. Enter. Enter validator key store password. So once again, this is the password to encrypt and decrypt your validator key store. So for simplicity's sake, let's go with a simple password of password. And once you hit enter, the ETH Docker tool will install everything on the background for you. And we just gotta wait for a while here. In the meantime, I'll show you how to get your Holesky ETH. So open up a new tab, So you need a testnet ETH, right? So search for automata, Oleski faucet. Alright, so this faucet is by far the easiest faucet to use in my opinion. It doesn't require any accounts, no signups, no social verification, no task list, no nonsense. It just gives you the testnet ETH as long as you can prove that you are not a bot. That's all. So copy your wallet address. Alright, so you have to enter the password or the PIN for your machine, for your laptop, for your CPU, for your desktop, whatever. So once the passkey is saved, now you can click on attest and get my tokens. And just wait for it to do its thing. Attestation succeeded. Please check here. Okay. Now let's for each drip, automata will give you 1 Oleski ETH. So you need 2 Oleski ETH in order to provide as a bond for us our first CSM validator. So let's click on this button again. Let's try it and see if we can get another 1 Oleski ETH. So just enter the PIN for your machine. Okay. And now you can attest and get tokens. Alright, so 1 Oleski ETH is already in my wallet. We'll just wait for the other one to arrive. So in order to get more than 2 testnet ETH from Oleski faucets, you will need to use a wallet address with at least 0.001 ETH on the mainnet. And once you have that, you will be able to use the Google Cloud faucet and the QuickNote faucet so that you can get some gas amount. So Google's is the easiest. Just enter your address here, paste it in to receive Oleski ETH, and it will be sent to you. And yep, you will receive 1 testnet ETH into your wallet. Oh, this is mainnet. Let's go to Oleski. Now you have 3 ETH, which is enough for 2 ETH bond plus gas for transaction fees when uploading your keys onto the Lido CSM widget. But if you still find this too troublesome, you can drop your testnet Ethereum address into the comment section of this video, and I will send you some testnet ETH to cover your gas fees. And for security reasons, make sure you don't use your main wallet address if you do comment. And in the meantime, let's go and check out our virtual machine. So the mnemonic or the seed phrase is now being generated. You'll be prompted to write it down and store it safely on the mainnet. Do not store this digitally. Write this down on a piece of paper. But for the purposes of our testnet demo today, we can go ahead and copy it and just save it on a notepad, just so that we are able to regenerate our keys if needed. So I'll call it CSM testnet ETH Docker and save it. Alright, so next we will have to re-enter the mnemonic or seed phrase to make sure that we have recorded it accurately. And then the ETH Docker tool will generate our keys for us. Alright, so final steps. We need to run our node with ethd start and wait until our node is fully synchronized, and then submit our keys on the Lido CSM testnet. And then finally import our keys using ethd keys import. Alright, so select OK. Boom, 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 boom. All these are Docker containers that are being pulled and installed. And make sure everything is ready to be run. Alright, so everything is done. Now we can do ethd start to start all of our Docker containers that runs the software and clients required for our validator node. Now what we gotta do is to import our validator keys. But before we do that, we need to change the permissions of the folder containing our validator keys. And this will be one of the only commands that you have to type out. And this will be included in the Gitboot link in the video description. So type in sudo CHOWN for change owner -capital R. And then your username here. Just copy it. Sudo CHOWN -capital R. Your username. This 2 dots thing is your username again. And ETH Docker /.eth /validator keys and enter. Alright, once that's done, type ETH keys import, and there will be a warning to inform you that imported keys are immediately live, so do not have the same key running on 2 different instances or 2 different machines, otherwise it will be slashed. So type yes and enter to acknowledge this warning. Enter the password to decrypt your validator keys. Re-enter it. And your key will be imported. Alright. So now let's make sure that your all of your clients are running without errors. So run ifd space logs. Oof, wrong command. Ifd space logs --tail 20. Alright, let's see. So far so good. Everything is up and running without any errors. Is this an error? Nope. Alright. Now the last step we have to do is to upload our deposit data onto the Lido CSM widget. And to do that, we need to print out the contents of the deposit data.json file. And here's what you do. Run cat space, cat is a command to print out the contents of a file. ETH-docker, or you can use the tab button to autofill. .eth/validator, use the tab button to autofill once again. Deposit and autofill to print this out. So the contents of this file are not private. They don't have to be kept very secure. Unlike your validator signing key stores, this can be transferred around freely, and all it exposes is the amount of ETH that you intend to deposit, your public key, and your withdrawal credentials. In this case, the withdrawal credentials is set to the Lido withdrawal vault, so there's no risk of doxing yourself here. Alright, so once that's done, open up a new browser tab, go to csm.testnet.fi. Alright, if you're a new node operator, select become a node operator, select MetaMask. Okay, connect to the wallet address that you like to register on the CSM, and then create node operator. Here, paste your deposit data contents from your terminal into this box. And once you have enough ETH to provide as a bond and to pay for gas, you will be able to create a node operator on the Lido CSM widget. So click on confirm the transaction. And wait for your keys to be uploaded. Alright, so your keys are uploaded. Now you can click on the View Keys tab, and you will see that the status is depositable. It means that you have provided the bond, the key is valid, and it's only a matter of time before Lido CSM makes the 32 ETH deposit into your validator key on your behalf. Next, click on this link to open up the Holesky Beacon Chain website on a new tab, and you'll see that your validator is not found, and it is because Lido has not deposited the 32 ETH required to activate your validator key. And what you will be able to do once the key goes live is that you can sign up for an account on Beacon Chain, and then you can log in. And once you're logged in, what you can do is click on notifications, and it'll bring you to this page here where you can add your validator into your watch list. So the way you search for this is by entering the public key of your validator, and then select all events other than withdrawal processed, and then hit add validator. But I can't do it now because my key is not activated yet. So once it's activated and it's live on the Beacon Chain, you can then add this to your watch list. And if there are any missed attestations, validator goes offline, missed proposals, validator proposes a block, you got slash, you have an upcoming sync community duty scheduled, you will receive an email notification from this Beacon Chain website. So it's a very handy tool for monitoring, very easy to set it up, and all solo stakers should at least use this to monitor the performance of their validators. Alright, so now let's make sure that all of our services are running properly. So just go back to your terminal and run ifd space logs, ifd space logs -- tail 20-f. Alright, I think it's all good. Alright, I think it's all good. So use Ctrl+C to exit the monitoring view, and we are done. So as you can see, this is super easy to get started on with minimal command line knowledge required. And all you gotta do is familiarize yourself with the process, and over time understand what you're trying to do. Full disclaimer, at this stage, you guys will not be mainnet ready, and in order for that to happen, you will need to understand at least what causes slashing events, how to prevent slashing events, how to mitigate slashing risks, understand what you're doing at least on a basic level at every step of the way. But this does give you an easy way to participate in the Lido CSM testnet so that you can enjoy benefits on the mainnet. And for those who are interested to know more about ETH Docker, it is a very powerful abstraction tool for node operators, whether you are a beginner or an advanced user or even a professional node operator. There is something for everyone. For beginners, it provides an easy to use user interface so that you don't have to be a wizard at the command line in order to get started and dip your toes into the realm of solo staking. For advanced or professional node operators, it is fully configurable, and the creator of ETH Docker is one of the core members of the global ETH staker community. And he also uses ETH Docker for his own professional node operator company, which runs around 9,000 Ethereum Validator keys on the mainnet as one of Lido's curated node operators. So I highly recommend investing time into learning ETH Docker if you want to take your Web3 skills to the next level and open up new opportunities to monetize in this space. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.